Welcome in to another beautiful Saturday here in Jackson, Tennessee. I am Ray Pack. I am in for Reggie this week. He is out of town with a family problem, and they asked me to come in and do it alongside Julian Atkins, a student at Lane College. Julian, I'm glad to be here with you. How are you doing today?
It's great to be here today. It's always a great honor and experience to call another game with a different play-by-play guy. But nothing's changed. But we'll see how this goes. We'll flow with it.
Yeah, I told you before we began about the fact I'll do this, but I won't be as funny as Reggie was. I don't have all those one-liners that he thinks of all the time. So that might be the big difference in what we get done today. But anyway, we come into the game today. The Dragons come in 1-5, and they're 0-3 in SIAC play, and the Dragons are facing off against the Golden Bears from Miles College, and they are 2-5 and 2-1 in conference play. So a pretty big game for both of these two teams today as Lane tries to get their first conference win. So we will see what ends up happening. As the coin toss took place, and you and I were talking, I didn't even see who won the coin toss, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens here.
Yep. I'm looking forward to a great game. It's Miles College and Lane College. I think these two are rivals. If I'm not mistaken, these two are rivals.
Well, it definitely rivals on the football field, and of course, if you look across the way, they're showing it here on our screen in the press box. The Miles College Purple Machine, I believe, is what I saw the name of their band was. They fill up almost a third of the visitors' stand. So it's maybe a battle of the bands today too. As it looks like Lane is going to receive the kickoff. Back deep for the Dragons will be number 4, Kenneth Williams, and also that's number 17 back there, and that is Anthony Evelyn. Kicking off for Miles for the Golden Bears will be number 43, and that is Jacob Spradling. And Spradling is just a 5'9", 190-pound freshman. Don't normally see a lot of freshmen with that duty, so he must be a pretty solid kicker here, Julian.
He has to be. He has to.
As Lane comes in and into this game today, and I've watched some of the games online that you and Reggie have done and listened to a few here on Fox Sports Jackson. It seems like the Dragons have played fairly well up till halftime, and then it seems like things go south for the Dragons. Does that sum up for you what you've seen this year?
Yeah, that's actually about right. You want to play 60 minutes. You can't decide it at 30. You can't decide it at 40. You have to play 60 minutes, which is basically an hour.
That's basically an hour. So the ball's in the air. Kick taken back there at the 10-yard line. And that is Evelyn, and Evelyn breaks free from a tackle. He's finally out across the 30 to the 36-yard line, so a good return for the Dragons, set up in pretty decent field position.
The first drive coming up for Lane College. Let's see what Marcus Reynolds has practiced this week, has under his belt, and what he brings to the table with this bitter rivalry.
So it looks like Lane is going to go out and going to have a receiver split each way. Going to have Reynolds in the backfield. Our running back will be Ryan Whitaker. And handoff straight up the middle. Breaks into the second level. He's across the 50 into Miles territory. And he breaks off a nice run down to the Golden Bears 43-yard line. So a nice play by Whitaker on that first down play.
A burst of speed by Whitaker, and I think he's the fill-in for Joseph Jeffrey, who's also an explosive running back himself, and they're going to use tempo.
And that's exactly what they're doing. Is Reynolds already back in the pistol formation, calls for the ball. There's a handoff again to Whitaker. This time he comes out to the right. Not much there. Gains maybe a yard.
What Lane College has to do is sustain drives, eliminate penalties, and get the ball into the end zone. I cannot count the number of times the Lane College Dragons have moved the ball inside of enemy territory, inside the 30-yard line, and an interception, turnover on downs, or even a missed field goal took place.
Well, I think your point of the mistakes, penalties, sometimes it's the little mental things that cost you football games. As now we're still in the pistol is Reynolds. He takes it. And he saw a free play, and the pass is incomplete as it was intended out there for Quintavious Wilson. But it was a free play as the Golden Bears jumped off sides into the neutral zone. So a free 5 yards, so it'll bring up second and 4 for the Dragons.
That's what most quarterbacks like to do. Whenever there's a free play and you know it's a free play, they like to take a shot deep and get as much as they can.
And Wilson almost hauled that in as he was falling to the ground. So
tried to do his Odell Beckham Jr. impression.
So Reynolds calls for it. You got 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Lone running back in the backfield's Whitaker. Whitaker comes off the right side, and he's going to be brought down at the 36-yard line, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, 3rd down and 3 for the Dragons as that player from Miles College was hanging on for dear life. That was Austin Stevens. Austin Stevens was hanging on for dear life, was grabbing anything that he could, jersey, just trying to do it cleanly, and brought him to the ground, and that worked.
And it worked that time. So this time we bring the 2 receivers set to the near side of the field. Reynolds calls for the ball. He has it. It's going to be a quarterback draw, and he's going to lunge forward. He's going to get down to the 34, but he's going to come up about a yard short, make it 4th down and 1.
Most people will be surprised by quarterback runs, but this is actually the bread and butter of Marcus Reynolds' game. He loves to run the ball. He loves to throw on the run, and you do not know what he'll do. You have to expect anything. You have to expect the unexpected.
And, the 2 years prior to this that I did Lane football, Reynolds was the quarterback, and you're exactly right. He's effective with a throw, but his most dangerous weapon is his feet as he calls for the ball. Again, in a pistol formation. Lane is going for it on 4th down. Reynolds keeps it. He's going to have the 1st down and then some as he gets down to the 31-yard line of the Golden Bears.
A nice game by Reynolds to move the chains, and you have to find a way to stop this guy. If he gets into the secondary, sayonara, forget it.
And now they're going to go to the huddle. So they're slowing the tempo down just a little bit here. They've gone pretty much quick tempo all the way around.
Tempo is the bread and butter of the Lane College Dragons offense. They love to use tempo.
Splitting out to the far side is Ahmad Isaac and Omari Hampton. You got a tight end set this time.
That cannot be the right time. That cannot be the right time.
And they're going to throw a delay of game clock on Lane. And Coach Burrows is questioning that, and I might tend to agree that was an awful quick 25. So now Lane gets behind the chains.
Yeah, they're behind the chains now. I disagree with that one too. 25 seconds does not go by that quick. I have to disagree with that one.
So Reynolds calls. It's going to be a keeper. He's going to come to the near side. He's at the 35 to 30. And he's forced out of bounds inside the 30 at the 27-yard line. So he gets a nice gainer back on that 1st down. He picks up the penalty yards plus an additional 3, so an 8-yard gain for Marcus Reynolds.
Yeah, Marcus Reynolds is a dynamic athlete. You have to find a way to stop him into open space. If he sees his lane, he's going to make his move, and more than likely he's going to be gone.
As Reynolds now in the pistol's got, I believe that's Whitaker behind him. Whitaker straight up the middle. He gets to the 2nd level. He's down to the 20-yard line, so he's going to have another 1st down for the Dragons. So Lane effectively moving the ball down the field right now on this first drive of the game. We have 10 minutes and 42 seconds left, no score, as we're just underway here in the 1st quarter. So the Dragons have taken almost 5 minutes off the clock on this initial drive.
Yeah, what you want to do if you're any type of offense, move the ball effectively. And what Lane College has to do right now is focusing on sustaining this drive and coming out with points.
And it looks like maybe Joshua Jeffrey, number 8, is in the backfield behind Reynolds. There's a little wide receiver screen, and that's Hampton. And he is going to pick up a yard. So it'll be 2nd and 9.
So far, their explosive weapons have been Omari Hampton and Ahmad Isaac. They have to get them involved early. They want to have any type of success today.
And what I like is you use that little wide receiver screen, kind of keeps the defense honest, open up the run game, be able to push the ball down the field just a little bit more. So this time it looks like Reynolds is going to go under center.
I formation.
Yeah, it's definitely a true eye as you have Hill in the background. A handoff this time again to Jeffrey. He plows forward, and he might pick up 2 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 8. So it looks like Whitaker now going to step back in the backfield. Javante Brown will be one of the receivers. I believe he's going to go to the far side. You're going to have Hampton and Isaac to the near side. Now Brown is going to line up as the tight end. Your other receiver to the near side will be 81, Quintavious Wilson. And Reynolds shifts the back. Just gets the play off. Reynolds looking, pressure coming. He steps out, misses one tackle, and finally he's brought down with the sack there by number 57, Jalen Thomas. And so that brings up 3rd down, and he actually loses some yardage, brings up 3rd down. This will be 4th down and 13. And so Vicente Luis Juan Pena, get all that out in one breath. You're doing good. We'll attempt a 40-yard field goal. I looked at some stats the other day, and the current stats that I saw showed him 0 for 4 on field goals.
Yeah, he's not been as proficient as he needed to be on field goals. Special team has been a problem with this Lane College.
Coming off the left hash, kick is up, got the distance. Believe he got one this time, and he does. So the Dragons put 3 on the boards with 7:51 left here in the first quarter of play. The Dragons take a 3-0 lead, and we'll be right back after this 30-second break with Lane College football on Fox Sports Jackson. Welcome back into Lane College Dragon football as the Dragons put 3 points on the board after a very nice sustained drive, and Montpena puts a foot in the ball, and it's taken at the 6-yard line by number 11 for Miles. That is LeAnthony Robinson. Robinson really nowhere to go, and he's going to be brought down at the 16-yard line. And that's a host of Dragons over there. I don't know who you want to credit the tackle with there, Mr. Atkins. That's your job.
A host of Dragons in there on the play, like you said. And sometimes as a kick returner or a punt returner, you have to live to fight another day or another kickoff. Because the rule change this year is that if you fair catch it inside the 25-yard line, the ball will be placed at the 25.
I didn't know if that was the rule here in D2 football or if that was just in D1.
You have a point. I might be wrong.
I know in D1 that's the case, but I wasn't sure about being in D2. So they're going to bring out a triple stack receiver formation to the near side as another wide receiver screen. And the defense had it well defended as the pass complete from the quarterback Daniel Smith out to his wide receiver, and number 8, Justin Hardy, makes that catch, and he gains 9 on that play. So the ball's sitting at the 25-yard line. Again, now they run this diamond formation of receivers to the far side of the field. Lone quarterback, only one in the backfield. Hardy's going to take the handoff, try to come out to on the jet sweep, And nothing doing as he gains a yard. He's going to get the first down, but still the Dragon defense swarmed and did their job closing the hole.
A wonderful pursuit, and in that one of the players in that pursuit was Travis Streeter, one of the best linebackers on this team, and he's making his presence felt early today.
And here we go, same formation. See if they bring a man in motion. And they're going to change the play now at the line of scrimmage with 15 on the play clock.
As the hard count didn't work.
A shotgun formation for the Golden Bears. Snap taken, going to be a wide receiver screen to the far side, and it's going to be incomplete. Again, great defense there, and that ball, he just threw it way out in front of him.
Yeah, have to be a little bit more accurate if you're a quarterback, especially on easy throws and catches that you make during practice. Wide receiver screens.
And he was wide open. I mean, he just threw it. He threw it about a yard and a half in front of him.
Yeah, wide receiver screens are throws that you should be making in your sleep.
Exactly. So Daniel Smith in the quarterback, empty backfield. Calls for the ball. Has it. There's the same play again. This time again complete to Hardy. And this time he's taken down at the 29, so a 3-yard gain. But still, good defense by the Dragons to converge and close on that. Bring up 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, a little bit of poor execution by the wide receivers blocking on that play.
I mean, that's why you put the stack formation out there, is so those other 3 can block. But nothing there. This time we'll have a running back in the backfield as we go to the shotgun formation. 2 receivers each way. Lane coming with the blitz, and they jump off sides, so it's a free play. And that time he threw behind his intended receiver. The intended receiver was number 81. And that's Mikhail Jacobs. A 5-yard penalty is going to make it a much easier 3rd down, make it 3rd down and 2 as the Dragons jumped. And there were several of them that jumped.
Yeah,
and that's one of those penalties we talked about earlier. It's that the mental mistake there. You're trying to show a blitz and just didn't get back in time for it.
Yeah, the little things matter in life and in a football game, but not a lot of accuracy by this quarterback on this drive right now.
So Hardy in the backfield with Smith. And again, now they're going to change the play based on the defense that they see out on the field. You have trips to the near side. Man goes in motion, he comes back. Smith looking to throw, pass complete, 1st down, yardage and then some. As the pass is taken by number 11, LeAnthony Robinson, and he takes that out across midfield into the Dragon territory to the 48-yard line. So a 1st down, big play right there for the Golden Bears on 3rd and 2.
Well, the LeAnthony Robinson was the motion man, and what he did was fake the linebacker like he was going to go across the field, and came back, ran an out route, and perfectly execution, plus the blocks downfield. Easy gain for Miles.
So the entire offense turns to the sidelines, and we're going to get a delay of game against Miles. So they're going to put themselves back behind the chains with a 5-yard penalty. And again, that's an awful quick 25 seconds. So we've had one go each way.
I'm not pretty sure what the play clock people are doing.
And now
the clock is at 20 right now.
You know, you have 40 seconds, the ball put down, and then as soon as the official pulls and shows in play, you go to 25. Smith takes it, hand off to Hardy, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage and brought down there. Let's see if they give him a gain of a yard. No gain. Yeah, maybe a yard. I guess a yard gain. 2nd and 14. Sometimes it's tough to call exactly what it is until you actually see where the ball is put down.
Right.
As Smith's got Hardy in the backfield, you got trips to the far side. Single receiver, look to the near side.
From Arizona.
Arizona, that's a long way from home. As the blitz comes, And down goes Smith on an all-out blitz by the Dragons. Nice hit right there by Cameron Brown, a senior defensive. So that brings up third down and
Infinity.
well, yeah, pretty close. 15. Yeah, about 27 yards for third down. But every coach has a play drawn up for this. You realize that, right?
Well, rarely does it work.
Three down linemen. Lane is dropped back in coverage. Smith takes the short route to the safety valve, and the safety valve is brought down immediately, and that's Anthony Robinson after maybe a 2-yard pickup. So the defense steps up right here, and we've got 2:26 left here in the first quarter of play. The Dragons with a 3-0 lead. Is dropping back for the Golden Bears to punt, number 41, Jay Fitch. Back deep for the Dragons. Punt away, not a bad punt. As that's Ahmad Isaac back there, and he just lets it bounce. And it's going to roll dead at the 25-yard line, so Isaac did a nice job right there just letting it drop.
Well, Lane College was magnificent on their first drive of the game, putting 3 points up on the board and coming out with points on that series after struggling on special teams constantly. Now, let's see what Marcus Reynolds has on this drive.
This is a good start for the Dragons, you know, and I've not seen every game, but to me, this is a good start for the Dragons. Time-consuming opening drive, put 3 points on the board. Miles moved the ball a little bit, and the defense ended up holding strong. Empty backfield for Marcus Reynolds, and he's going to keep it. Design quarterback draw. He's out to the 30, still on his feet, 35-40, and pushed out of bounds at the 39-yard line. So a nice run, nice read option right there by Marcus Reynolds. As he keeps it, picks up 14 yards.
The bread and butter of his game, and he's an excellent runner. No doubt this guy ran track in high school,
no doubt.
college, or
no doubt. He may
point.
run track for Lane. I don't know. And this time you've got the running back. He is flanked by a running back this time. That's Whitaker. Reynolds calling for the football. Hand off to Whitaker. He comes to the right, cuts back to his left, gets it across the 40 to the 41. So 2-yard gain there for Whitaker. Going to bring up 2nd and 8.
Yeah, a couple of yards on that play, and Whitaker is the starting man for Joseph Jeffrey, who's also an explosive player. Joseph Jeffrey needs to make his presence felt a little bit early. Put him in the game. He had 2 touchdowns against Morehouse, and he was a stud in that game.
So same formation. You got 2 receivers to the far side. This time, they fake the handoff out across the 45 out to the, going to mark him down right between the 49 and 50. We got another first down for the Dragons. So they're effectively moving the ball between Whitaker and Reynolds in the running game.
Yeah, you might as well put Marcus Reynolds in at running back on this play and put one of the Wildcat quarterbacks in, because Marcus Reynolds has a lot of speed. He has toughness, and he has condition.
So now you saw Justin Hill, and Joshua Jeffrey step out onto the field for the Dragons. So pistol formation, you got a running back flanking each side, and Lane is confused and actually the play clock is running down, and they have to take a timeout. We'll take it with them. You're listening to Lane College Football on Fox Sports Jackson. Into Lane College Dragon football, and an explanation took place. The play clock was not set to 40 like it should have been. It was set at 25, and that's why that play clock ran down. So they did not charge Lane with a timeout there. And so you got a minute 45 on the play clock, or on the game. No, actually, it's the end of the first quarter. Lane's going to lead 3-0. So after all this confusion, let's take a 60-second break right here on Fox Sports Jackson. And welcome back into Dragon football. I'm Ray Pack along with Julian Atkins. As we begin the second quarter play, the Dragons with a 3-0 lead. Reynolds takes it. Looking, little wide receiver screen, and almost intercepted right there on a nice play by number 38, Ruben Sarton, as the pass was short of his intended receiver, Justin Hill.
Yeah, Justin Hill. I think it was a little bit thrown behind him a little bit. He has to be a little bit more accurate on those type of passes.
All right, so it's going to be second down and 10. Julian, I'm going to throw it over to you. You do a little bit of play-by-play.
Take one to them outside or give it to Josh. Give our coach.
As we have second down and 10 for the Dragons. Julian will be right back. Reynolds calls for the ball. Looking to throw. This time he has Hampton. Hampton with a complete pass down inside Miles territory at the Miles 45-yard line. So it brings up a manageable third down and 4 for the Dragons, as we were just been handed the stat sheet. And that play, Lane has rushed the ball 12 times, 57 yards. So a nice job by the Dragons right there, and I know they've added to that total here. Passing yards in the second quarter of play. As you have Isaac split to the near side along with Anthony Evelyn, and on the far side, not sure who it is, but this time it's going to be a keeper by Reynolds, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield, and he lost 2, so it's going to be 4th down and 7. So Juan Pena is going to come out and punt the ball away. Nice job by the Miles defense there to put the spy, if you will, on Reynolds and hold him a negative yard on that play.
The defensive coordinator had to have seen something in the first quarter that could have worked in the first quarter. It worked right now, and a wonderful defensive stand for the Golden Bears.
So Juan Pena is going to punt it away, and back deep for the Golden Bears is Anthony Reynolds. And he's going to fair catch it inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. All right, Julian, take it away. The play-by-play is on your shoulders this time. You got it for a while.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you asked. You're here. I know we're doing this broadcast live on Fox Sports Jackson, but part of the reason we're here and we're using you're here is to learn how to do this, and you have opportunity right here. I know Reggie gives you the opportunity. I'm going to give you opportunity right here.
Yes, sir.
So take it away.
Miles College inside the 20-yard line. Caleb Smith in an empty backfield. 5 wide receivers set. They'll permeate the field. Inside the 20-yard line, waiting for the whistle of play. Motion man, he'll give it to him, and he'll run and try to get to the edge, and he'll be stopped just at the line of scrimmage, just at the 17-yard line.
Nice pursuit by the Dragons. They are stringing that play out and forcing to take a different angle, and that time they did a great job. And that's Hardy, if I'm saying, no, yeah, that's Justin Hardy was the running back.
So 2nd down and 10, no gain for Miles College. Hardy in the backfield. A fake, go over the middle, dropped by the wide receiver. Leonard Turee was the intended receiver on that play, and it's going to be 3rd down and 10.
And that time, Lane in his own defense, and he got in the seam, and the throw, if it would have been accurate, he was open at that split second, could have had the catch, but instead it's 3rd and 10.
They'll permeate the field again with a 5 wide receiver set. 3rd and 10 with 11:26 to go in the 2nd quarter. Smith will take the snap. He's looking deep, throws on the out route. It's caught, but will they give him the 1st down?
I believe it's going to be marked short. I believe he's going to be marked short.
Mikhail Jacobs was the man on the receiving end on that play.
He's going to be about 1.5 yards short. So nice defense. You know, as a receiver, you want to get beyond the sticks, and if you have to go back to the ball, but that time the throw was behind the yardstick, and so it allowed the lane to close on it, and the tackle came.
Back to punt is number 47, I believe. Or is that 41?
41, Fitch.
Yeah, Fitch back to punt. Isaac back to receive. He'll field it on the run inside the 40-yard line. That's where Lane College will take over in wonderful field position.
And that time at the 41, he makes a fair catch. So the Lane defense has stepped up 2 times now, big in holding down. And it looks to me like the Golden Bears, their whole point is to
Was there laundry?
They called a running into the kicker penalty on Lane. So it'll come back, and it'll be 1st down for the Golden Bears.
Wow.
So a silly, there's the mental mistake here on that penalty.
Not needed, a no-brainer. Why would you do it? Why would you give them excellent field position to start off? So they'll get the ball right back. Caleb Smith still in at quarterback.
So it's going to be
First down and 10 after the penalty here for Miles College.
I mean, it's only a 5-yard penalty. It wasn't a personal foul. It was just he ran into it and just didn't cut his run off. But that gives Miles the ball back.
Caleb Smith back in at quarterback after the penalty. He'll try a little hard count to no avail. Get the play from the sideline. 1st and 10 in the 1st quarter with 10:22 left to play in the 2nd quarter. The 1st quarter on the screen. Fake to Harvey, a laundry on the field again, maybe a false start.
Now Miles is going to take a timeout. Why don't we take it with him? We'll take a 30-second break right here. You're listening to Dragon Football. Score 3-0 right here on Fox Sports Jackson. And welcome back into Dragon Football. I'm Ray Pack along with Julian Atkins. Julian got some play-by-play here. Julian, what jumped off at you off that stat sheet there? from the first quarter. We kind of looked at it briefly, but didn't get in depth on it. What do you see?
Well, the stats aren't really eye-popping. 57 yards rushing, but Lane College has to do a better job of sustaining drives and continuously moving the ball down the field, because 3 and outs will irritate a coach.
Exactly. All right, so here we go. Throw it back over to you, Julian.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line for Miles College. Smith will take the snap. He'll hand it off to Hart. No, he's going to keep it himself, and he'll get no gain. So the quarterback trying to do his best Marcus Reynolds impression of running the football, trying to give the Lane College defense a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, and that time it looked to me like it was a design quarterback keeper, but the running back clogged it up. Hardy clogged that time, and not allowing the free movement of Smith as a quarterback.
Smith in shotgun, fake to Harvey. He'll throw deep down the field, overthrown over everybody's head. Good coverage there by Kenneth Williams.
Excellent coverage there by Williams. And Williams just stood his ground and wouldn't let the receiver get back to the inside, as the intended receiver was number 3, and that's Leonard Tyree. And so great defense by the Dragons, forces a 3rd down and 10.
3rd down and 10 from the 30-yard line, from the 33-yard line, excuse me.
Someone called.
Another timeout by the defense. That's Lane.
Yeah, so Lane's going to set up something here. And we just keep it right here for now. But, the defense has played fairly solid. They've given up a couple of big plays, but for the most part, this defense of the Dragons has played a very decent football game. Both teams have only had 2 possessions. And so the possessions are long possessions, but just not a lot of yardage in those 2 possessions.
Not a lot of yardage, but the defense on both sides, it's been a defensive battle on both sides of the ball. You want to have excellent defense if you're in any type of game. Defense wins ball games, not only ball games, but championships. At least that's the analogy for everyone.
I think that's a pretty solid statement to make. Is you hear everybody talk about wanting to have a great quarterback here, a great quarterback and everything. I think you need a quarterback that is serviceable. He doesn't have to be outstanding. He just has to be able to manage the game and do the little things to give his team the opportunity. But like you say, I think defense is where a lot of games are won and lost.
3rd and 10 from the 33-yard line out of the timeout. Caleb Smith slipped a little bit, and he'll be sacked in the backfield by Dexter Collins.
So the Dragons called timeout, set up a defensive play, and he loses 3 yards, so 4th and 13.
Isaac back to punt, and Isaac back to receive, Finch back to punt. Let's see what Lane College does on this series of punting after they ran into the kicker on the last drive. Ahmad Isaac will fair catch it inside the 40-yard line. That's where Lane College will take over, and excellent field position yet again. Let's see what they have up their sleeve.
So you run into the kicker, give them a 1st down, and all they can do is gain 3 yards. Isaac caught that first punt when they ran into the punter at the 41. This time he fair catches at the 38, so 3 yards difference. Not a bad deal for the Dragons.
8:43 left to go in the 2nd quarter of play. At the 38-yard line, Marcus Reynolds will set up another shot. Twins on either side for Marcus Reynolds and his Lane College offense. Reynolds takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself, a design run, gets to about the 40, about close to midfield, maybe the 45-yard line, and another run by Marcus Reynolds.
And he's going to mark it down at the 43, so a 5-yard gain. That's not bad, and that was definitely a designed quarterback run right there.
So it's going to bring up 2nd down and about 5 yards to go inside the 40-yard line now. Isaac along with Wilson, the dynamic receivers to Reynolds' left. He's a left-handed quarterback, and he's going to keep it himself, and he's got the first down and more inside the 50-yard line, and an excellent gain for the bread and butter quarterback, Marcus Reynolds.
A nice job by Reynolds there, seeing what the defense gave, took it into Miles territory and mark it at the 47-yard line.
I don't know if Miles College should be playing right now during duration of plays. Hopefully the referee is looking to that. Meanwhile, it's first down and 10 inside the 50-yard line. Reynolds in the backfield all by himself. A quick throw. Amari Hampton makes the grab and gets stuffed inside the 40-yard line. Here come the Dragons.
Yeah, but that's a 9-yard pickup. That's a nice play. Again, running the football is your bread and butter, as you say. However, that pass to Hampton keeps the defense honest.
It was actually Richardson on that grab, and he's going to throw again. Almost intercepted. Great play on the ball by Maxwell Wells.
Maxwell Wells. And, you know, he jumped that route. He jumped right in front of the receiver at just the very opportune time. So third down, and it's a manageable yard and a half for the Dragons.
Anthony Evelyn to Reynolds is right along with Joshua Bunting. Wilson, Isaac, and Hampton to Reynolds' left, a left-handed quarterback. 3rd and 2. Throwing in trouble, wide open. Inside the 20-yard line.
It's number 89.
That's D'Elo Richardson.
Hey, nice job right there. At the right moment, he let that pass go. He gets it into the red zone. The ball's going to be marked at the 17-yard line.
Yep.
So 1st and 10, Dragons inside the red zone.
Dragons knocking on the door in the red zone. Will Miles College slam it in their face? Wilson all by himself to Marcus Reynolds' left side. Trips to his right. They'll hand it off to Whitaker. And Whitaker gets stuffed for about a gain of 3 yards.
That's okay, not a bad play. A 2-yard gain, gets the ball down to the 15. So, I mean, you know, that's a good play. Actually, going to mark it at the 16, so just give him a yard.
They'll give him a yard on that play.
I thought he was a little bit further down the field than that, but
I thought so too.
Just take
We're
what
in the press box.
we can't see too good up here.
2nd down and 9. Reynolds will take the snap. He'll hand it off to Whitaker again, and they'll get stuffed again for a gain of about 2 yards.
Yeah, that time he got inside down to about the 14, so it brings up 3rd down and 3rd and 7 for the Dragons.
3rd and 7 as Ruben Sarton makes the tackle for Miles College. It's 3rd down and 7. Will they force another field goal, or will Lane College punch it in? You don't have to get a touchdown. You don't have to go for the end zone here. The first down mark is inside the 10-yard line.
Exactly. You just want to pick up the first down and then give yourself 4 more downs. And
a couple of hard counts.
I think that hard count threw off Lane that time.
Some perplexion on this drive.
Let's see.
Throw off. Did it throw off Lane?
Yeah, it was Lane.
It did.
So now you, instead of 3rd and 7, you're at 3rd and 12. It changes everything totally.
Yeah, it's going to be 3rd and 12 from just outside of the 20-yard line. Just outside their own 20. I don't think the cheerleaders like that call, but they're not the referees.
They're not the referees.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 12.
Lane's got to get down to the 7-yard line.
From the 19.5-yard line.
5 seconds left on the play clock.
I don't think they realize that. And they will call a timeout, as you heard the coach from the other.
Yeah, the other booth.
Call timeout.
Yeah, exactly. So Lane takes a timeout. We got 3:54. Lane's on their own, on the Golden Bears 19, 3-0 our lead. We'll be right back with more Dragon football on Fox Sports Jackson. And welcome back in, Ray Pack and Julian Atkins. Reggie is not with us today. I understand he had a death in the family and is attending that service this weekend. And we wish our best to Reggie. And we know we miss him. That's for sure. And he'll hopefully be back for the one more. I think there's one more home football game left in the season for the Dragons here in Jackson, Tennessee. Nice day, Julian, has turned out to be, as the Dragons are faced with 3rd and 12. Take it away.
A great day for football for either team. Whitaker in the backfield with Reynolds, who takes the snap and will roll to his right. He'll stop and fire, incomplete. At the far side, that was Isaac, the intended receiver, Ahmad Isaac. They're a big play threat, and it'll force a field goal, I believe.
So you bring Juan Pena out for the field goal attempt. He hit a 40-yarder earlier today. And this one's going to be from about 37 yards?
About 37
and
yards.
this time the ball's more to the center of the field. He was on the right hash mark the last time. And they're going to reset the game clock to 3:45.
So on 4th down and 11, the 38-yard field goal attempt here from Juan Pena. In a little bit of practice in before he actually kicks the ball, which is a great thing for kickers. Play clock just at 20. Snap, hold, kick on the way. And it is good. So it's 6-0 Lane College. So far two scoring possessions and 2 field goals.
So good job by the Dragons. We got 3:40 left here in the first half, 6-0. Let's take a 30-second break. You're listening, and come back for more Dragon football on Fox Sports Jackson. And we welcome you back into Lane College Dragon football as the Dragons will be teeing it up. Juan Pena will put it in play, back deep for Miles. Will be number 3, Leonard Tyree, and number 11, Lee Anthony Robinson.
Kick is in the air. And
Let's
they'll field it
Go ahead.
inside the 20-yard line. And a nice return out across the 25. They'll get to the 30.
And that return was by number 3, Leonard Tyree. So the Dragon defense has done their job so far. Let's see if they can hold Miles out of the end zone. Got 3:34 left here in the first half of play.
Caleb Smith comes back out there on 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. 3 receivers set with Hardy in the backfield with Smith. They'll give it to Hardy. And not much there. Only a pick of about 5 yards on that play.
Got a 5-yard pickup. Cameron Brown there on the tackle for the Dragons.
Yeah, first time I've heard his name all season. Some of the weapons have been.
You know, 4-down lineman. He's
the snap, the give, the pass, and it's dropped again by the wide receivers. That was Mikael Jacobs on that play who dropped the pass.
Tell you what, that time it looked like Smith. He had him wide open. It was a little bit low, but that pass is catchable. The receiver just didn't go down and bring it in.
You know, sometimes, Ray, you're so wide open, you just worry about getting downfield instead of catching the ball. Secure the ball first and then go down the field. Empty backfield for Caleb Smith. He's going to adjust at the line of scrimmage. They'll permeate the field again with a 5-wide set. There's the snap. Smith is going to step up. He's going to deliver, and Tyree has it inside of Lane College territory across the 50-yard line.
Well, he steps out of bounds. That time he goes to his safety valve. That time he's wide open as the Dragons had some pressure there coming off the right side. He gets down to the 47-yard line in Lane territory.
A 5-wide set again. On 1st and 10. Snap. Smith, Tyree again on the catch, trying to make a move, and he'll get hit from behind at the 45-yard line. Kenneth Williams.
Now Williams slowed him down, and in big number 92,
Bryce McKenzie.
McKenzie comes in, and McKinney comes in and closes the deal. So he got a 2-yard gain, so 2nd and 8. Clock continues to run.
2:05 left to go here in the second quarter of play. 2nd and 8. Smith from the pocket delivers, incomplete. That time it was Demarius Pitts in coverage again.
Yeah.
Lane College player is down, but he'll get right back up. And a 3rd down and about a gain of about 1. They'll stop, the whistles blare.
Yeah, 3rd and 8 here for the Dragons.
They're using up a lot of clock here, 1:41. They want to at least get a field goal.
Yeah, they've got the clock stopped right now. But that time the Dragon defense knocked that down by Hardy.
Play clock is running. Empty backfield again for Smith. He'll go over the top this time. Caught! Touchdown, Miles College.
And that's number 4 for Miles.
Malik Campbell from 45 yards out delivers for Miles College.
And that time he went over the top. Nice back shoulder throw. Over the shoulder. Thought the defense had a shot, but they couldn't quite get there. So we're all even at 6 as we await an extra point. And that is not how you wanted to go into the half, giving Miles momentum.
Jackson spreading. They'll hustle a man in on the field for Miles College to attempt the extra point. Extra point, snap, hold, kick, up, and good. So it's going to be 7-6 going into not really going into halftime. Lane College has plenty of time.
They got a shot. They got plenty of time.
Have plenty of time to come back here.
But let's take a quick break. We got 7-6 as we got 1:42 left. You're listening to Dragon Football on Fox Sports Jackson. Welcome you back in. Kenneth Williams, Lane College. 17, Anthony Edwin. I think we lost him.
Did we lose him?
You keep going.
Well,
you keep going.
Kick on the way. Inside the 10 it goes. And a nice return out at the 30-yard line. As we have 2 players down on the turf on each side. Miles College and Lane College. Looks like that's Justin Hill for Miles College, and two players run into each other. A big collision on the kickoff. They were trying to avoid these collisions on kickoffs by making the new rule. If you make a fair catch inside the 25-yard line, then the ball shall be placed at the 25-yard line. Sorry, a little bit of confusion with the little bit of technical difficulties here. We'll do our best to get these straightened out.
Okay, I'll give you a holler.
Justin Hill is up. And the Miles College player is sitting up. A wonderful sign from both of them, from Miles College. And C.J. McKellen was the one that was injured. He's going to be assisted off the field. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line for Miles College. At the 30-yard line.
All right, sorry about that technical difficulty.
At the 30-yard line, Miles College, or Lane College, has a chance to go and score some points. A minute and 37 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Reynolds, a designed quarterback run. He'll get stuffed in the backfield. Hit immediately, and he's down. But he'll get back up, showing what a true warrior he is by getting up through all that adversity.
So showing our true color there. Showing what's going on with that there. Reynolds truly going to run. And all of a sudden, the Dragons faced with 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 as the clock continues to roll. Reynolds will go to his left, and the catch is made by Joshua Bunton, but not much there.
Yeah, about a 4-yard pickup, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 6 for the Dragons.
3rd down and 6, empty backfield for Reynolds. They have shown the quick strike capabilities today at the 30-yard line. Reynolds in trouble, now escapes the pocket. Throws on the run, and the diving catch made by Ahmad Isaac inside the 45-yard line. What a catch.
And you're going to mark him down at the 46. That's a 1st down. Dragons need to get set to get going.
The temporary stoppage of play for the Chains. The clock is running inside of 20 seconds now. He'll have to take a shot deep. Low snap there. He will go deep, going for Wilson. He makes the catch inside the 10, touchdown, LCD.
That is the way that you're supposed to come back. After a touchdown you give up, you do the same thing on your end of the field.
Quantavious Wilson, the true sophomore, played as a true freshman last year and made his presence felt on that play.
So that's going to make it 12-7 the Dragons.
Should be.
And we got a timeout. We're just going to keep it right here.
Let's talk about that play, a spectacular play for Quantavious Wilson.
And again, Wilson, the defender was well in position to bat the ball away, but Wilson just reached up and took it away from him. You got to like that.
You gotta understand, Quantavious Wilson has a height advantage.
Exactly.
He's 6'5", and his wingspan literally made him go up and catch the ball and secure it, and then break a tackle. What about the speed?
Yeah, that's just a little spin move, caused the man to miss, and into the end zone he went. So that's exactly what you want to see as Lane. Got 6 seconds left on the clock out there as we're getting ready to go into halftime. Let's see, are they going to go for 1 or they're going to go for 2 here? That may be what this timeout was about, to try to get it to 14.
Yeah,
to stretch it out to a 7-point lead instead of just the 2 field goals. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to go for 2.
Yeah, Reynolds is sprinting out there. They are going to go for 2. At the 3-yard line, they are going for 2. I formation for Marcus Reynolds. Hill with a motion man in the backfield. They'll fake it to Whitaker. He'll try to keep it himself. He's on the move, and he will not get there. He's going to be stopped just short, and they'll have to settle for 6 more in this drive.
So 12-7 is going to be the score as we got 6 seconds left. Again, we'll just keep it right here. As be interesting to see what Miles does with their time on the clock. If I was the Dragons coach right here, I would probably do a squib kick to try to get the clock moving, to run some time off the clock, not give them anything that's going on here.
Right.
As football game is moving along pretty rapidly. We're not even an hour into the game today, and we're already almost at halftime.
Wow.
So that's a great.
How about that?
That's a great thing when you can move, and it's because both teams have been running the football. The passing game, not as much, but we'll see what happens. As
Juan Pena will kick off. Will they try an onside
I don't think
kick?
you go. You don't go onside kick. I think you just kind of try to squib kick it and get it down to around the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that would be really rolling the dice if you try an onside kick.
And the ball has fallen off the tee, so they'll tee it up one more time.
What a wind we have here today. Wind moving to the south direction.
And he does. He's a little squib kick.
Squib kick inside the 20-yard line, taken by the up man, just outside of the 30.
And that's going
to be end of the first half. It's 12-7, Lane College.
All right, Julian. I'm Ray Pack. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We'll come back. Hopefully by then we'll have some stats to share with you and some other comments. And I know today is senior day. They're going to honor the seniors here in a moment, and then we're going to have a presentation of the band. So we'll be right back with more Dragon football as they lead 12-7 over the Golden Bears of Miles on Fox Sports South, or Fox Sports Jackson. And we welcome you back in as the Dragons are honoring their seniors today. I think they said there are 11 seniors on on this ball club, and they've given 4 years of their time to this football program, and we wish those seniors well as they move on. I am Ray Pack. I've got Julian Atkins next to me. Of course, if you're tuning in and looking for Reggie, Reggie, as we've said, had a death in the family, and we express our sympathy to him. And so he's away from us today, and I'm always glad to be able to step in and help out when I can as the Dragons with a 12-7 lead. Julian, let's look at it. Let me break down this stat sheet, and here's the difference. Lane has 10 first downs to Miles College 5. Lane has 73 yards rushing to a -8 yards for Miles. In the passing game, Smith is 8 for 13 for 98 yards. And let's see here. Lane is 7 out of 10. Reynolds 7 out of 10 for 103 yards. So you look at the passing yards here, and you look at the difference. Lane has outgained Miles 180 total yards to 98 yards. Plays, Lane's run 28, Miles has run 20. What's the difference in the football game?
Well, Miles College is being out hustled, out focused, and out efforted, if that's even a word. You know, Lane College is showing great effort. You know, they're 1-5 and 0-3 in conference play, so you know that they're hungry for a conference win. And Miles College is 2-5. Everybody thought that Miles College would have the bigger advantage because they have the better record. But, you know, in college football, anything is possible. Anything could happen.
You toss records out in college football, toss out rankings in college football. When you look at it, you know, I'm in a group with a bunch of friends of mine, and we pick college games every week. We get 10 a week. Last week, the best picker was 5-5, and the week before that, the best picker was 6-4. So many upsets going on in college football. You just never know what's going to happen. You know, I look at this, and on our scoring drives, it looks like Lane, of course, in the first quarter was 7:51 left on the clock. Pena booted a 40-yard field goal, and then begin the second quarter at 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. He put up his second field goal, 37 yards. And both of those drives, the first drive was 7 minutes and 9 seconds. The second drive, 5 minutes and 3. And then you get to Miles College putting this pass from Malik Campbell to Daniel Smith for 45 yards. 6 plays, 70-yard drive in 1:52. Okay, we had 1:45 left on the clock when play began for Lane. With 6 seconds left on that clock, Quintavious Wilson takes that 54-yard pass from Marcus Reynolds and puts it in, and the extra point failed, which makes our score 12-7. So you had 2 sustained drives and then 2 rapid-fire drives there to close the second half. But the Dragons did the right thing, and they did a great job trying to close out the half, matching the intensity of Miles.
Yeah, Miles, they've showed some intensity at some point. You know, they've been playing well defensively. Obviously, a little bit of a defensive breakdown with that 54-yard pass from Reynolds to Wilson, but other than that, I think they're doing fine. And they're only down. You got to know they're only down by 5 points. No, 5 points is more than manageable to come back from.
Yeah, one of the other things that I look at, we'll talk about when we come back. We talked about at the beginning penalties and such, so we'll talk about that when we come back. But the Dragons with a 12-7 lead here over the Golden Bears from Miles College as the last of the seniors being recognized, and the Miles College band is going to be marching out here in just a moment to play. But we will be right back after this 2-minute break. You're listening to Lane College football on Fox Sports Jackson. And welcome back into Lane College. We are in Jackson, Tennessee. An absolutely gorgeous day for college football. The weather is perfecto, as it's about 65 degrees outside, the light wind, and in the background you might hear the Purple Marching Band, or Purple Marching Machine from Miles College, a rather large band for this level, as they are going to put on a show for us. But Julian, we talked about, you brought it up. I'm going to throw it at you because it's your fault. You talked about penalties before we started today. Looking at the penalties, Lane has 4 penalties, 20 yards. Miles, I think, had 3 penalties or 2 penalties for 15 yards. The 4 penalties, out of those penalties total, 2 of them were delay of game. And I think we figured out that the 2 delay of games were actually the operator of the clock, instead of setting the clock at the right time, set it wrong. So Lane has 3 penalties. You have an offsides that gave them a free play. And then you had the running into the punter, which allowed the drive to extend. That didn't hurt them. And then you had a false start. So where are we at when we think about penalties?
Well, I think they've played a big factor in this game. 4 penalties for 20 yards. You could have used some of those yards to, score a touchdown. Get into the field of the game, and be in the ball game. Penalties are drive killers. The penalties make the coach's blood boil. Coaches do not like penalties. I don't like any coach. I don't think any coach likes penalties. I've yet to meet a coach that likes to have penalties a part of their repertoire.
I don't think any. I'm with you. I don't think any coach likes penalties at all. And so what you have to do is you minimize those. This time, the penalties did not hurt Lane at all, as they were able to hold back and keep everything in check, if you will, in that first half. The big thing is there were no 15-yard personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. Those are the ones that really hurt you.
Right.
And we've seen today a very calm, cool football game, which is what you want to see out of your football team.
Right. You have to be composed. You have to. So far, no unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. Like you said, unsportsmanlike conduct penalties are more than likely selfish penalties. If you get an unsportsmanlike conduct for a taunt, if you get an unsportsmanlike conduct for fighting or anything disrespecting an official, those are drive killers as well. Those are selfish penalties. You have to think about the team. You have to put the team first. You second.
That's right. And I think that we've seen team today. This has been a team effort today, and that's like you say. Yep, Marcus Reynolds has done a lot of damage on offense, but the wealth has been spread. So we've seen a really good. I think what I expected today. This is what I've expected to see, how Lane would come out and play today, and all we can hope for is a second half as good as what we saw in the first half. We've got just over 11 minutes left here at halftime. Let's throw it back for another break to the studio. This time, let's take a 3-minute break, and we'll come back after that. And I think the Quiet Storm Band is going to march today, too, if Coach Ogden is right. But I want to say, before we go to that break, what a blessing it is for me to be able to be here and work with you, and I appreciate the opportunity my good friend Coach Roger Ogden gave me to come and to be able to do this today in Reggie's place. And it's always an honor to help out a brother who needs your help. So let's take that 3-minute break with the Dragons at halftime, up 12-7. You are listening to Dragon Football on Fox Sports Jackson. And we welcome you back in to Jackson, Tennessee. Ray Pack, Julian Atkins with the call here at Lane College football as we are at halftime. 7 minutes left here. The Quiet Storm marching band is quietly making their way out on the field. You like how I did there, don't you?
That was smooth.
You know, that's the one thing I miss. Reggie throws out some good one-liners, and
He calls this the Dragon Lair.
he calls it the what?
The Dragon Lair.
Okay. Well, but the Dragons with a 12-7 lead, and we've seen really two big plays at the end of the half, the passing play that put Miles on the scoreboard, and then exactly what the head coach or a coach would want from his team, the response that the Dragons came back with, answering and putting points back on the board. Although they went for two and didn't make it, still putting points on the board was very important for the Dragons.
I honestly think, I'm sorry, but I don't agree with the play call to go for two. I mean, in some way I get it because you want to score more points, you want to make the game even, but just take the one.
I'm with you. I understand the thinking of the coach wanting to put it up by 7 to make it a touchdown, an extra point. But I'm also with you. I wonder, is it safer to put the 1 point on the board than it is to try to get the 2 points?
Right.
And you knew Miles was going to be looking for Reynolds to keep the football, as that has been pretty much the MO for the Dragons today. You look at the rushing yards, Reynolds, that's first quarter. What do we do with the second quarter stats? Maybe down here. Well, this is the halftime. Reynolds with 10 rushes, 50 yards rushing. He's lost 8 yards, so a net of 42. And you think about, just think about, that's who they're going to key on, because that's what Lane's offense has been built around was Reynolds. But I'm impressed with his passing numbers. 7 for 10 for 107 yards. Yes, that one was 54 yards, but still, as I said earlier, you don't have to be a great quarterback. You just have to be what I call a serviceable quarterback that can manage your team and do the little things and the little short passing. Hey, for a fan, you're probably like me. For a fan, if I'm watching the game as a fan, the long plays, I love every minute of it.
Me too.
But I understand, being one who watches a lot of football and broadcasts a lot of football, it's the 5, the 10, the 15-yard game and the passing game that are more effective. So you may look at it different than that, but that's how I look at that.
Yeah, I actually look at it the same way. It's always nice to have an easy gain, a great 15-yard, 20-yard run, and that gets an injection of energy into the crowd, not only to the crowd, but to the football team on the sideline, hyping you up.
Right, it does. That's what that purpose is. It picks it up for the crowd for the most part. So we see the Dragons making their way back. Miles over there on the far side, outside the fence still, but they're starting to stretch out and get loosened up as the Quiet Storm has still performing out there. As we got, 3.5 minutes left here at halftime, and then we'll come back with the second half of action. Julian, we're going to take another break here in just a second, but I want to ask you, let's save it till we come back on the other side of this break, and we'll take a 2-minute break with the Dragons leading 12-7 here at halftime. You're listening to Dragon Football on Fox Sports Jackson. And welcome back into Dragon football. Ray Pack, Julian Atkins going to bring it to second half. We got about 30 seconds left as the Dragons are already on the sidelines and Miles is getting ready to work their way back over. And I told you earlier today, Julian, not only was it going to be a football game, but it was going to be a battle of the bands.
Yeah, and it's actually have been a battle of the bands. And Miles College being a little bit thicker, and they actually put on an excellent show. I don't know who's going to come out on top when it comes to the battle of the bands, but Lane College is coming out on top right now when it comes to football.
Well, I know, Lane's band is not as large as Miles' band, but they put out a loud sound a while ago. So
yep.
As the officials back out on the field, it looks like we're going to be ready to go as they're going to put 15 on the clock to begin the third quarter of play. Julian, I'm going to let you have the third quarter, and I'll take us home in the fourth with the play-by-play. So are you ready to roll again?
Yes, sir. I'm ready to roll. I love this with a passion.
You're ready to go.
It's such a beautiful day out here. The wind is actually blowing a little bit. It's currently 66 degrees right now in Jackson, Tennessee, with partly cloudy skies. Lane College coming out onto the field again in the all-white jerseys and all-blue jerseys and the white helmets.
Yeah, they're in that solid blue, got white helmets, white numbers, and they're going to kick off. So you put it in the hands of the defense after your offense came down and, put some points on the board for you. Now then, can you keep the defense? Can the defense keep the momentum going is the big question that we have to look at right here.
Right. So Danielle Smith, I said Caleb Smith in the first half. Excuse me if his parents are somehow watching this. His name is Danielle Smith. Will come out to start the second half. The kickoff is fielded into the end zone. And he'll take a knee. Will Justin Hardy.
Yeah, he bobbled that ball at about the 2-yard line, and it went back in the end zone. And he brought it out, thought about bringing it out, and then he decided, I better down it, so he downed it, and he'll take the ball to 25.
At the 25-yard line, if you take a knee or call a fair catch, the ball has to be spotted inside the 25 at the 25-yard line. Excuse me. So that's where Miles College will set up a shot. At the 20-yard line, 1st and 10, 4 receivers set. Hardy in the backfield, I believe. Now they'll motion him out. That's actually Santee Marshall. And the catch is made on the other end by Leonard Tyree. Not much on that game.
No, 5-yard gain. That's that same play they started the game with. As you saw a 5-yard gain for the Golden Bears.
At the 30-yard line, 2nd and 5. Lane College band playing in the background. Smith broken up by Kenneth Williams. Excellent coverage by the team's best corner man.
Yeah, that was awful close by Williams. It looked like he might have had a hand on the shoulder. Could have been an interference call, but no call made.
I honestly think that's a good no call.
I agree, it's a good no call. But, he had that hand up there in that area.
So it's 3rd down and 5 at the 30-yard line. They'll try a little hard count, and it works. And whistles blare to stop this one as Lane College was lined up in a neutral zone. A free 5 for Miles College coming up, I believe.
Yeah, that definitely is offsides in the neutral zone. It looked to me like they were going to come with a blitz, and then the next thing you know, that was a quick snap. He a hard count, and he snapped the ball to center at the right time.
That's going to bring up an automatic 1st down and a free 5. Cameron Brown was the guilty party, the guy we were crediting earlier in the broadcast.
Yeah, and that's one of those. That's one of those penalties. Now let's see if they can overcome that and stall this drive.
So 1st and 10, extra yards for Miles College. Man in motion. Smith will keep it himself, and he'll run into a dragon wall inside the 35-yard line. Only a gain of about 1, and he's down on the deck.
Boy, he's slow to get up, too, as he took a pretty good hit right there. So they're going to give him a yard on that.
Is he going to be all right to come to stay in?
He's still out there.
Yeah, he's still in, showing incredible toughness. How about that for
I
a
like
quarterback?
that.
2nd down and 9.
You know, my opinion is if you're going to play quarterback, you play to be hit.
Yeah, you have to be tough. Out on the field, empty backfield. Smith will receive the snap, throw it quickly into the flat, and Williams will body slam. I believe that's Tyree again. Yep, that is Tyree. Leonard Tyree makes the catch, and Williams tackled him immediately for about a 4-yard gain, 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, nice defense in the open field there.
Maybe a hard count coming up for Lane College.
And again,
the ball's delivered over the middle, but a free play coming up for Lane College, for Miles College, and it's incomplete.
it's still going to be 3rd down, but it's going to be an awful easy 3rd down and 1.
Not very good discipline on that play.
That's 2. Mark those down. And remember, we need to remember those 2 penalties right there.
Yeah, that's. It's 3rd and 1.
Yeah, 3rd and 1 after the penalty.
After the penalty, it's Smith and shotgun with a Santee Marshall in the backfield for Miles College.
Lane showing a blitz right here.
They'll show blitz, and they'll bring 6. And the out route is complete to Tyree. And an easy 1st down on this drive for Miles College.
You know, that's one of those ones, you show the blitz, you better have good press coverage. And that time, the number 11 there for Miles slipped open. And that is LeAnthony Robinson, just out in the flat.
So a Waltz 1st down for Miles College. A couple of pump fakes, and he'll go over the middle. Inside the 35-yard line goes Marshall. And another 1st down on this drive for Miles College. Not enough defense being played so far for Lane.
So the ball's down at the 24, the Dragon 24-yard line. Miles threatening.
Danielle Smith, a left-handed quarterback himself. He'll receive the snap. He'll throw on the out route again. It's wide open, but it's incomplete. Just out of the outstretched hands of LeAnthony Robinson.
And that time he just overthrew him, and that was 6 points written all over it if he's accurate on that throw. And you remember early in the game, that was one of the problems that Smith had was he had receivers wide open, but the accuracy just wasn't there.
Smith showed a lot of inaccuracy earlier in the game. As you said, it's 2nd down and 10. They'll permeate the field again with a 5-wide set. They'll motion Marshall. They'll fake it to him, and he'll go over the middle, and it's incomplete just out of the outstretched hands of Marshall again.
That was Robinson on there. But
yeah,
again,
Robinson.
just over his head. And so that's 2 plays in a row where he's at a wide open receiver and unable to convert. So 3rd and 10. Big play for the Dragons right here.
Let's see what the defense does. They'll try the hard count again, and it'll work again, and he'll go over the top, and it is incomplete to Tyree. But I guess a free play here for the Miles College. That's 3
on this drive. On this drive, 3 offsides.
So another opportunity again for Miles College to convert on 3rd down.
So it makes it 3rd and 5 instead of 3rd and 10.
3rd and a little bit more manageable.
It looks like Smith is testing the secondary of the Dragons right now. Kenneth Williams with great coverage.
The hard count didn't work this time. It's 3rd down and 5. A 5-wide set again for Miles College. On 3rd and 5, Smith, the catch made by Leanthony Robinson, who gets burger flipped inside the 10-yard line.
And he's down to be at the 5, so first down. So on all 3 of those penalties,
all 3 conversions.
Conversion to the first down. So those are the things we talked about as we, began the broadcast, really, that the Dragons could ill afford to have. With a minute 11:13 left, it's 12-7 Dragons, but the Golden Bears are at the Dragon 5, threatening.
On 1st and goal, Smith fade route, end zone, caught, touchdown, Leanthony Robinson.
And I thought the Dragons, that defense right there by Demarius Pitts, he was in position. He just went for the ball a little bit too soon and was unable. So now we're 13-12 Miles with the lead.
What a play and what a drive and what non-discipline that Lane College showed on all 3 of those 3rd down conversions.
All three of them. And the kick is
up and good. So it's 14-12 Miles College.
So a 4-minute drive by Miles lets them take the lead 14-12. We'll be back with more Dragon football on Fox Sports Jackson after a 30-second break. And welcome back in as the Dragons give up 7 points to begin the 3rd quarter of play. And so now we will see the Dragons receive the kickoff. And that kickoff will be from that's number 43.
That's Jackson Spreadlin
and
with Isaac and Whitaker back
16
deep.
and 17 back deep. Whitaker, and he's going to take it at the 5.
The 5-yard line. Here they come. And they'll make it across the 15-yard line. That's where Lane College's offense will set up a shot.
Now, Miles put points up going into the half. Lane answered. Coming into the 3rd quarter, Miles puts points up on their first drive. How will the Dragons respond? The way they respond will tell you a lot about this football team, about this football game as a flagged out over there at the 20.
And a lot of laundry on the field. We might need some detergent.
And they're going to wave it off.
So no detergent needed?
No detergent needed. And that's actually a break for Lane, because if it would have been a block in the back, that would have penalized them coming on this kickoff.
That would have been the 4th penalty in this 3rd quarter.
And as I talked to Coach Ogden earlier, before, when I agreed to do this game, that was one of the things that we mentioned, is the fact that they play a great first half and that something in the second half for the Dragons fails to click. So let's see as Hill comes in motion.
3 receivers set.
And there's
the ball's on the ground.
And
Lane College pounces back on it, but they'll lose yards.
We're going to lose 2 yards on that. Just the exchange of the handoff wasn't real smooth between Whitaker and Reynolds.
2nd down and 12. They'll lose 3 yards on that play. The ball's spotted at the 15-yard line. Reynolds all by himself. And a designed run again. It'll get the first down and more. Up the middle. Reynolds off to the races. Inside Miles College territory. And out of bounds at the 50.
So that's what Reynolds can do for you. He can take a play, and that was definitely a design. So a 35-yard run as he takes it out to midfield. So that gives Reynolds about 85 yards on the day so far. Looking good for Marcus.
And he's a dual threat runner, a dual threat quarterback. And Miles College Lang College is in great field position to answer.
You know, last year Thurston Rubin came in and played quite a bit at quarterback. And this year it seems like Coach Burrows has gone with Reynolds.
Rubin is the holder. They'll give it to Justin Hill, and he's showing some speed and bulldozing ahead for the first down, a 14-yard gain.
Actually, a ball carrier there was number 16, Whitaker, as Hill came up primary, and boy, he comes up. He's a little lame right now. He's looking for a sub. He opened the hole though. Hill has been around all 3 years I've been around, and always been pretty much a blocking back. He's carried the ball some, but not near as much as that running back has, and so. Pistol formation here. Whitaker's the deep back.
There's the snap. And he'll
nice
look to his
fake.
left. He'll throw it away to nobody.
He just threw that away. Once he saw the pressure coming, he threw it away. Great job by Reynolds. And that's a senior quarterback for you, knowing what to do in the situation that he is in. So 2nd and 10. Ball's at the 36-yard line of Miles. So the Dragons have moved the football down the field.
Yeah, they've marched down the field quite a bit in this game. This time Reynolds is going to be all by himself. They'll permeate the field with a 5-wide set. Trips to his left or his right. Couldn't get him to draw offside. He lost his footing and slipped, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 13 yards, a 3rd down and long.
You know, I didn't go down on the field before the game, but we had quite a bit of rain last night. I was in Dyersburg with a high school football game, and it rained the whole time. I don't know what it did here in Jackson, but I heard the floodgates opened at one point.
Yeah.
So, you know, the field could be a little slippery because of the rain, but still, you know, that was going to be a design quarterback run. So the ball's back at the 39-yard line.
Marcus Reynolds all by himself, 3rd and 13. And from the pocket, he'll deliver to Wilson, who dropped it. So some shaky work by the receivers on this drive. It'll bring up 4th down and 13.
And that time he catches that on that crossing route, pick up the first down. Probably not a whole lot more than the first down, but at least you would have got to the first down stick. So instead, Juan Pena is going to have to come out and punt it away.
8 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Vicente Luis Juan Pena with, I believe that's Hardy back to return.
That's 11. Is that Anthony?
Leanthony Robinson back to return.
And
he'll do his job and pin him deep.
Pena did his job. He angled it to the sideline and gets it to the 10-yard line. So the Dragons offense stalls out. 14-12 our score. We'll be back with more Dragon football on Fox Sports Jackson. And as we come back, we've already had a play run. You know, normally we don't have that quick, but pass attempt there from Smith to number 4.
Malik Campbell.
And almost intercepted by the Dragons, and that's number 19, Randall Johnson. Great coverage right there.
Great coverage by Johnson. 2nd down and 10 at the 10-yard line. At their own 10-yard line. Their backs are against the wall. Handoff to Hardy and a big hole into the secondary. And out of bounds, that's actually, was that number
that's
6? Yeah, that's 6, Christian Mays.
I thought it was Hardy myself.
So Christian Mays, only a gain of about 9 yards. They'll give him 9 yards. 3rd down and a manageable one for Miles College. On 3rd and 1, a hard count doesn't work this time, so great discipline shown by the by the Lane College defense on this drive now. 3rd and 1, they'll get the play from their coach, play clock at 15.
Yeah, they turn to the sidelines an awful lot looking for a play.
The motion man is Marshall, and he'll go over the top again, and it's incomplete as he tried to find Malik Campbell, and that'll bring out the punting unit.
I tell you what, he was wanting pass interference on that, but I thought that was great coverage. He looked back for the football at the right time and turned and knocked it away. But still, he had an opportunity to catch football even after. So, you know, but that's a great stand by the Lane defense after giving him, 9 yards on 1st down?
Right. Excellent stand. You have to watch out for any type of fake punt here. If you're Lane.
It'd be tough for me to see a fake punt when you're at your own 19.
So the punt is away. It's short, and it'll go down inside LCD territory. So excellent field position for Marcus Reynolds, the dual threat quarterback, to go down and score.
And ball gets out to the 43-yard line of Miles. So only a 23-yard punt right there, 24-yard punt. And the thing is, it was very high but very short. 6:50, 14-12 to Dragons trail.
1st down and 10 at the 43-yard line. At the 42-yard line, excuse me. Reynolds, the snap, the handoff to Whitaker. And he'll power forward for about a 5 or 3 yard gain.
3.
Second down and 7 coming up.
It's okay, but you're trying to keep Miles honest by putting the ball in the hands of Whitaker instead of focusing always on Reynolds, because they're keying on Reynolds to be the main offensive weapon.
They have to rely on their dual threat quarterback. He's been running the game right down the gut of the Miles College defense, but he'll hand the ball off this time. Whitaker is stuffed. Good pursuit by the Bear defense.
There you had 57 and 21 in on that tackle for
Jalen Thomas and Nate Williams Jr. Nate Williams Jr. was talking all the way.
You know, and actually he got a pretty favorable spot. They moved the ball to the 42. I didn't think he got up to the 42, but you take what they give you.
It's 3rd down and 9. Empty backfield again for Reynolds. Maybe a passing play out of this formation. 3rd down and 9. Reynolds calls for the ball, receives it. And he's getting delivered from the pocket. He'll run it himself. Will they give him the 1st down?
He's going to be, I tell you what, it all depends on the spot. Looks like he's going to be about a half a yard short.
Just a half yard short. I think you go for this.
I think you go for this one.
Yeah.
I think you're at 5 minutes
if you're
left.
Miles College. I mean, if you're Lane College.
I think Lane goes for this. The ball's sitting right at the 34. They've got to get to the 33.
They have to.
So you got a yard to go.
4th down and about 1 or 2.
Right.
About 2.5?
No, about 1. Right at 1.
We're right at 1 yard, 4 down and 1. Hard count does not work to no avail.
And that's your first option right there. Try to draw them off sides.
Right. The second option is whatever play you decide to go with. And he will keep it himself. And do they have it? Will they give it to him?
They're going to say he's down. They're going to say he's down. And he should have. I think he has the first down.
I think he has it too. No, they're going to give it to Miles College. They're going to say Marcus Reynolds coughed it up.
They're going to say he fumbled the football. Of course,
So after
and he had just enough. He had just enough to get the first down, but then he coughs it up. So instead of 1st and 10 Dragons, the Golden Bears take over
with excellent field position at the 35-yard line. That's Daniel Smith at quarterback. Hardy, the handoff. And he'll get a couple of yards, about 4 yards on that carry, and a player down for Lane College. That's Devin Barnett.
And he made an initial contact, but he is still down. And so 14-12, 4:14 left. We're going to take a third. Nope, never mind. We're going to keep it right here. He's already up and walking off. So we'll stay right here. Got a little bit too excited on that. I thought normally on an injury I go to a break to see what's going on, but that time he jumped up pretty quick. I thought he was going to stay down. So you got 2nd and 6 after a 4-yard pickup.
I keep on saying Jalen. I don't know where I get Jalen from. It's Danielle Smith on 2nd down and 4. 2nd down and 6. On the ground. He'll keep it himself.
You got the hold
and
right there.
Holding penalty,
it wasn't no doubt.
More than likely.
Wasn't no doubt about that. You could see he grabbed a hold of that jersey up around the collar.
The center judge threw that flag.
Yeah. And what a great throw, but that was a great ball fake. I thought the ball was in Hardy's hands, and Smith took it and came around to the left side. And so it's going to be holding, be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
So instead of a first down, you have 2nd down and more than likely 16.
2nd down, they're going to move it back to the 31-yard line.
It's going to be 2nd down and 13.
You'll take that.
Yeah, you'll take that if you're Lane. 5 wide, empty backfield for Daniel Smith. Five wide receivers set. They'll rush 4. They'll throw over the middle, caught in stride by, who's that? That's Padarius Martin. Padarius Martin.
Nice open field tackle by number 9, Travis Streeter for the Dragons. So it brings up 3rd down and 3. So they got 10 back on that play.
3rd down and 3. Lane College running up to show pressure. Hard count doesn't work. Empty backfield for Smith again. So 3rd down and 3. They'll permeate the field again. Another pass play. They'll send 6. The out route is overthrown for Padarius Martin again.
And again, your receiver's wide open, and you can't connect. You throw it out in front of him by 3 yards on 3rd down and 3.
I don't understand.
I don't get that one. I mean, I don't see how you miss a man that's wide open that much. I can see you missing him, but not by that much. So now the Dragon defense does its job once again, forcing Miles to have to punt it away.
Rodney Bivens is the wide receivers coach. He's not pleased with his wide receivers at all. The punt made. Ahmad Isaac back to return. And it's fielded inside the 20.
Let's see how far he comes up.
Yeah, they're going to mark it at the 25-yard line.
You know,
very manageable spot.
And you may be right. Maybe it is on the wide receiver for not fulfilling a route or whatever. We've been talking about blaming the quarterback. Maybe it is a receiver that hasn't done what he needs to do.
So with 2:33 left to go in the third quarter, Lane College still trails by the score of 14-12, and they'll bring their offense back out there again for another drive.
Other than that one drive to begin the second half, the Dragons on the defense has done their job. But that one drive where you have 3 offsides penalties is what has hurt the Dragons so far in this half.
On 1st and 10, Reynolds, the designed quarterback run following his left tackle, and he'll get thrown out of bounds.
And that time the Miles defense did a great job moving off of the block, and the block by number 54, Joseph Samuel. I thought he had knocked him out of the way pretty good, but the defender shed him, and ended up making the play for no gain.
So 2nd down and 10, no gain on the play for Reynolds. The designed quarterback run, clock running inside of 2 minutes here in the third quarter. 4 receivers set, trips to his left. The delayed handoff to Whitaker, and he'll power forward. A gain of about 2 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, 4-yard run right there by Whitaker. And that's a really pretty good play right there. And, you'd like to have picked up about another 2 yards, but 3rd and 6, you can manage that if you are the Dragons. Looks like we're going to go empty backfield.
No, Whitaker's in the back.
Whitaker did step back. I thought he was going to go empty there for a minute.
4 receivers set, trips to his left again. Another pass play. Reynolds throwing out into the flat, and it's bobbled but caught by Whitaker.
First down.
And that'll move the chains.
Yeah, Whitaker did a great job. That's the safety valve. Nothing downfield. Take what they give you. That time he did bobble it, but he was able to secure it and take it out to the 37-yard line. Great job.
Ryan Whitaker has been making his presence felt, filling in for the very explosive JoJo Jeffrey. On 1st and 10, just outside of the 40-yard line, they'll run it with Whitaker again. Great pursuit. He stopped initially, but powers forward, keeps his legs. Second effort will get him a gain of about 1 yard.
Yeah, we're getting about a yard on. Let me ask you a question. We mentioned, Joshua Jeffrey. He's been the primary starting running back. He has not played a whole lot today. It looks like is he in? Do you know if he is injured? That was my question. Now he comes out now.
Yeah.
But I wonder if he is limited somewhat by an injury, or
that's going to be the end of the
did he just
third
get beat
quarter.
out in practice? Oh, we go to end the third quarter? All
in
right.
The third quarter, fourth quarter coming up.
Well, we're going to go to the fourth quarter. Dragons trail 14-12, but however, they do have their ball. We'll be right back after this 1-minute break on Fox Sports Jackson. Welcome back in. Ray Pack along with Julian Atkins here to bring you the final fourth quarter of play as the Dragons trail 14-12. They have it second down and 9 at their own 37-yard line as the Dragons, Reynolds in the backfield along with Jeffrey. Reynolds with the keeper. There it is. He breaks free, still on his feet. Breaks out across the 45, out to the 48. We'll mark it at the 47 or the 48-yard line. 48-yard line, so it'd be first down for the Dragons.
No. Marcus Reynolds is an excellent, outstanding player. He's been making his presence felt all game long, and he's been a dual-threat quarterback as he has been the entire season. A wonderful quarterback, a great player to watch. I love watching him play.
You know, and that 9-yard run right there puts him over 100 yards for the day. He's got 16 carries now for 102 yards. So a nice job by Reynolds as the Dragons have put 248 yards of total offense compared that to 184 for the Golden Bears. So the drive's still alive. First and 10 for the Dragons. You have Reynolds and Jeffrey in the backfield. Two wideouts to the far side. Handoff to Joshua Jeffrey. He's in lane territory. Flag comes in. I believe we're going to get an illegal block right there on the Dragons, so that may back it up.
It was thrown right into the vicinity of holding.
Could have been holding.
Or blocking the back.
It's either that or a chop block, one of the two. I'm not sure. It looks like it's going to be a hold. So back them up 10. And so that instead of it'll make it first and 20. But you can deal with first and 20. I mean, you can deal with first and 20 better than if it was third and 20. You know,
right.
You want to come back here. You want to get some of that yardage back. As Hill, excuse me, that's not Hill, that's number 30. That's Jason Finch is the up back in the pistol formation. And so they correct the down marker. It is first and 20 for the Dragons from their own 37. Hand off to Jeffrey. He's out to the 45, so he got 8 of that back, which is what you want to do, get a little bit back at a time. So we got 13:25 left here in the football game, 14-12, the Dragons trail.
What Lane College has to do now is win a little bit more in the trenches. The trench game has been a little bit of effective.
Again, Jeffrey, he bulldozes his way through, and it's going to be third down and 11. So you're in a long yardage situation. You got behind the chains that time. And the clock is, officials, clock is running. It's third down. Looks like it's going to be third and 12. As Reynolds looking to the sidelines for his play. He's got Jeffrey in the backfield. He's got trips to the near side, a single receiver to the far side. See if he targets his favorite receiver, Ahmad Isaac, on this play, or Amari Hampton, one of the two. It's a little bubble screen to Ahmad Isaac, and Isaac is actually going to lose 2 yards as it was that wide receiver bubble screen tried to reverse back in. So it brings up fourth down. So
he tried to reverse back in, but it was actually wonderful pursuit by the defense of Miles College, and Miles College has been putting their foot in the ground defensively in this second quarter, in this second half.
So Vicente Luis Juan Pena is going to punt from about his own 29-yard line. Back deep is LeAnthony Robinson, and he's going to call for a fair catch at the 30-yard line. So Miles takes over 1st and 10 with 11:31 left. And you look at this second half, the defensive lane has played well, except that exception of those 3 offside penalties. They've held Miles in check. And so it comes down to those, right at this point, it's the 3 offsides penalties which have cost the Dragons in this football game. Let's see if the defense can do it again and then get the offense back out there so the offense can do their work. Smith in the backfield. Robinson comes in motion, fakes the handoff. He's looking and going to get pass interference on this one as Randall Johnson reached out and grabbed the hand of the intended receiver, Malik Campbell. As in the backfield that time was Santee Marshall. Excuse me, they're going to wave the flag off. I didn't think that it was pass interference, but you never know with what they're going to do with some of that inconsistencies I've seen all year long in what is and what isn't pass interference. So 2nd and 10, Smith, as he has Marshall flanking him to his left. He's got trips to the near side, a single receiver to the far side of the field. He takes a snap. It's going to be a sweep toss. Toss to Marshall. Still on his feet, cuts it back inside, and he lunges forward to the 40-yard line where it's going to be 1st down for Miles.
That was a little bit of a delayed pitch as he thought about running it, but pitched it at the very last second.
You're correct. It looked like it was going to be a pitch, or looked like it was going to be a quarterback keeper, and then the pressure came and he decided to get rid of it. But now he has an empty backfield, 5 receivers spread across. He's looking. And that time he hits his intended receiver, and that's number 81, Mikhail Jacobs. And maybe a 6-inch gain on that play, Julian.
That was an excellent defensive play, an excellent open field tackle on that wide receiver screen that time.
And again, empty backfield, trying to draw the Dragons off sides. As the Dragons showed a little blitz that time. And now just a 4-down lineman. In motion. I tell you what, the Dragons are fortunate right there as they two Dragons ran into each other as the pass was intended for Christian Mays. And again, that pass should have been caught.
Yeah, a little bit of shaky work. A little bit of shaky work on this drive for the receivers, with the exception of that one touchdown that Smith threw to Leanthony Robinson. But from that point forward, it's been a whole lot of shaky work from the receivers in the second half.
Yeah, 3rd and 9 here. Again, an empty backfield for Smith. We got trips to the near side, 2 to the far side. Let's see if he tries to go to his favorite target here today, Leanthony Robinson. This time, no, he's going to be a quarterback keeper, and down he goes, and he's going to lose to 3 yards right there.
That was a great job by number 40 on that play. 40 in the backfield, not fooled at all by the quarterback run.
And Johnny Russell makes the play for the Lane defense that time, and so they'll be forced to punt it away. Jay Fitch will kick it away, and Ahmad Isaac is back deep to receive it for the Dragons. So the defense, again, they do their job.
Which is stall the offense.
And that ball goes out of bounds. It's caught on the sideline. Let's see where they mark it at. They're going to mark it at the 35.
Did you see that? It was actually caught by one of the bench players.
Yeah, caught by number 57, one of the defensive linemen for the Golden Bears, Jalen Thomas. All right, now see the offense now. We need to see some consistency moving the ball down the field as we are now at 9 minutes, 18 seconds left in the football game. As we're going to throw it to the station for 10-second station identification. And while we were away, Marcus Reynolds with the keeper up the middle with a 2-yard gain. I'm Ray Pack alongside Julian Atkins, bringing you the broadcast today. It's been a pleasure here working with Julian today as Marcus Reynolds is looking at an empty backfield, 5-receiver set.
2nd and 8.
So Reynolds calls for the ball. He's looking to throw. He's got a receiver, Ahmad Isaac. Ahmad Isaac with a little stutter step away back to the into the field, gets it out across the 45 to the 46 where the Dragons pick up a first down. That's a big play right there.
Yeah, an excellent play by Ahmad Isaac. Just ran a little bit of a comeback route. Reynolds put it right on the numbers of Ahmad Isaac, and he was able to shake and bake for the first down.
So Reynolds again with an empty backfield, 5-receiver set. This time it's going to be a quarterback keeper. He's across the 50 into Miles territory down to the 47-yard line. So give him 7 yards. We'll make it 2nd and 3 right here for the Dragons. Nice job by Reynolds right there. And what I'm liking about this offense is they're taking what the defense gives you. They're not trying to overdo things. They're just taking what is given to them. So in motion goes Anthony Evelyn, still on his feet, and he's going to lunge forward to the 45. So he's going to pick up 2. Yeah, actually say 1, so we're going to call it 3rd down and 2 right here. He did a great job reversing his field right there to come back to pick up just a yard instead of losing 3 yards.
Nice job planting his foot and reversing his field.
So big 3rd down play for the Dragons. Reynolds calls for it. He's going to keep it himself. And I believe he's going to be, depending on the spot, he may be a half a yard short.
I honestly think that Miles College was sensing a quarterback run all the way, just couldn't quite execute it because they know the running capability of this quarterback.
Yeah, they do, and they're going to measure this, but just from the angle of looking at it, it looks to be about a half a yard short. It's going to be interesting to see where it's at right here.
That is going to be interesting. I don't think they're going to. Are they?
Yeah, they're going to measure. They're going to measure this, but I think it's a half a yard short.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because if
nope, it's short. About a yard short.
Say, I knew it was short. I was pretty sure he had to get right to the 49-yard line. And where the spot of the ball is, the nose of the ball is not touching it. But you go for it right here.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree at all.
If you're the Dragons, you go for this right here. This is, 6.5 minutes left in the football game. And you know they're going to be what they're going to be looking for. They're going to be looking for the quarterback draw. I wonder if you bring a man in motion and give him the football. No one in motion. Yeah, here he comes. And he's got the first down. That's Anthony. That's Evelyn. And he will have the first down by at least a yard. So a great play call by Coach Burrows and his staff.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a first down, too.
They are going to give it to him. That'll be a first down. He got almost to the 48-yard line, so that's a big play by the Dragons right there to keep a drive alive. They are down to the 43-yard line of Miles. 5:55 is what we have remaining in the game.
Nice. Oh, sorry.
And it's a beautiful day again. You know, the sun's starting to go down. It's getting a little cool, but overall, nice day today for football here in Jackson, Tennessee.
Great weather.
There's Reynolds. Oh, wide open up the middle. What a seam. He's down inside the 35. Looks like they're going to mark him at the 31 where it'll be first down Lane.
On this drive right now, Lane College is winning in the trenches. You know, a big hole by his offensive lineman, and the linebackers were nowhere to be found on that play.
I think I could have picked up 9 or 10 yards on that play, and I'm an old man out of shape.
I bet you could. I know you could, even with the stiff shoulder that you had.
You're right. You're right. So great play by Reynolds. And he threw it behind. He threw it behind his intended receiver. Is that number 80? 89? Yeah, number 89 was intended receiver D'Lo Richardson. He threw it behind him. Otherwise, you pick up 5 yards right there.
Right. An easy 5 yards. And then what Richardson could have gotten if he would have stayed on his feet. And you know, he had open field in front of him, but just very little. Time is running out.
And that time Reynolds is going to go with the quarterback draw, and he's going to be taken down at the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 3rd and 10. Well, generously, they gave him a half a yard looking at the stick over there.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a gracious spot.
But, again, they are keeping and the Dragon coaches are doing a good job spreading the field, keeping the linebackers out of the box, if you will, so that opens up this the quarterback run up the middle. Now, this time you see there's two linebackers in the middle of the field. Now one steps out, so you've only got one to beat. Reynolds takes it.
It's 4th down.
It's going to be 4th down and 7. I don't think you're in Juan Pena's field goal range.
Probably so. They want to take the lead by 1 here.
Oh, the ball's at the 20.
At the 35. This is going to be a 52-yard field goal attempt.
45-yard.
Oh, yeah.
45-yard field goal attempt.
My bad.
He's made a 40-yarder today. He's had plenty of leg. This time it's going to be from the right or from the left hash mark. So the angle here is the key. Kick is up. It's flat. And it is wide to the left. He just didn't get a good foot at the ball. So the Dragons still trail 14-12 as Miles is going to take over 1st and 10. 3:35 left. The ball is going to be placed at the 28-yard line. So that time just couldn't get the foot on the ball to keep it just go end over end. It went sideways.
Now it's up to the Lane College defense to stall him out and possibly get a little bit closer to his range and attempt a short field goal.
3:35. Smith takes the snap, hand off to Marshall, and he's out across the 30 to about the 35. So to bring up a 2nd down and about 3. You need a turnover. The Dragons' hope right now rests on a turnover.
Right. That's what you need to do. Force turnovers, rip at the ball.
You got now, the Dragons have 3 timeouts. And so the question is, when do you start taking the timeouts? As Smith calls for the ball.
I don't think you start taking the timeouts right now.
Well, they're gonna milk the 35, the 40
Yeah.
seconds off the clock. So you're gonna have to take a
so,
timeout to stop the clock,
eventually you're gonna have
especially if
to.
they get a first down here.
Yeah, eventually you're going to have to.
And down he goes, and he's going to lose yard. He's going to fall back to the 31. So it's going to bring up third down at about 8. Is again that Santee Marshall on the carry. And that's so you almost forced them into a passing situation right here. And with the passing situation, if that's what they do, an incomplete pass will become your friend as a timeout as the clock will stop. As we are now at 2 minutes on the clock.
It's third down. They have to get a stop right here.
Defense get a 3 and out. That would be huge.
A stop and then a timeout. But whistles blare after this one.
And we've got timeout. Someone took a timeout. We're going to take it with them. We got 14-12 our score with 1:52 left. Come back for the conclusion of this one on Fox Sports Jackson. Welcome back in. Ray Pack and Julian Atkins here in the press box.
I don't think Reggie has told you this, but I look up to Reggie as a little bit of an uncle. Me and Reggie go way
back. Well, that's okay. 1:52 is what we have left. A big third down and 8 for Miles, maybe a bigger for the defense. And
Miles College calls a timeout again.
Let's keep it right here. So this is their second timeout. Miles is actually helping Lane out right here by preserving the clock. They are trying their best to draw Lane off sides. And if you, as we watch here and try to describe this to you, you actually have linebackers up on the linemen pulling them back to keep them back. I don't know if you noticed that just on that play right there.
Wow.
Because
if I were a linebacker, I'd be doing that too.
We talked at the break. The drives that allowed Miles College to go ahead of the Dragons included 3 offsides penalties on the defense, which all were converted into first downs.
Yeah, that's
the
actually
killer of this game today right here.
Yeah, that's a big difference. Lane College showing a little bit more discipline on this drive. A clutch situation here almost at the very end of the game. You want to stall them, get a timeout, and give your offense great field of position. Now Lane College calls a timeout.
And now Lane calls a timeout. Well, they're first of the half. I don't understand that one. I mean, you really want to save your timeouts to stop the clock at this point in the game.
I mean,
go ahead.
I don't understand it, but at the same time, I understand it. I don't understand it because you want to save your time, as many timeouts as possible for you and your offense to go down the field and score. But I don't understand it because I understand it because you want to make sure you coach your defense up a little bit, worry about potential misdirection or a fake or something else.
This is the cat and mouse game of football. Miles comes out of their timeout in a different formation, so Coach Burrows calls a timeout to get his defense in a formation. It wouldn't surprise me if Miles comes out in some other look besides that open backfield 5-receiver look. Let's see what they do here. I didn't look and see exactly where every receiver was positioned.
A first down right here could end the game.
More than likely, even with 2 timeouts, a first down here will end the game. So, all right, so you got 3 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side, in that 5-receiver set. Smith in the backfield alone. Lane looking to bring some pressure. And there you go. There's your Kenneth Williams has made some plays today.
Right.
And that time he just stuck a hand in front and knocked the ball away. Brings up 4th down. So the Dragons are going to get the football back.
Their best covered corner. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time situations.
Yeah,
and this was a big-time situation.
That was it. Minute 47 left, 14-12. The Dragons still have a shot right here. Not good for heart patients today. As Fitch puts it in. Isaac calls for a fair catch going backwards, and it looks like he's going to take it at the 27-yard line.
So let's talk about this. 1 minute and 40 seconds, 2 timeouts, and you have 70 yards of field to go down and score a touchdown, or you have some of the field to go out and attempt a field goal.
I think you're trying to get in. You're trying for the touchdown first.
Right.
You got 1 minute 40 left. The big thing to this right now is
don't turn the ball over.
Don't turn the ball over, number one. But if you're going to throw the ball, make sure you get the ball to the outside where your receiver can step out of bounds to stop the clock.
Right.
If you run the ball, you're going to have to burn a timeout. And so Reynolds takes a snap. He's looking to throw, looking, pressure coming. And he throws a floater up, and it is almost intercepted by number 21, Nate Williams Jr.
A sigh relief on this side of the stadium, at least.
As he just kind of heaved it up. It may have been tipped at the line, but his intended target was Quintavious Wilson.
It was up for grabs.
And it became up for grabs. So 2nd down and 9 for the Dragons. 6 seconds came off the clock. 1 minute 34 left. Reynolds, this time he hands it off. And a handoff that time to Whitaker. And Whitaker takes it out for a 5-yard gain. We're going to call it a 3rd and 5. And Whitaker is coming out looking like he may have injured a hand, got rolled up on it. And so Joshua Jeffrey comes back out on the field for the Dragons. 3rd down. You almost have to put the ball in the air right here. There's the throw. You got the 1st down.
You have to get set quickly.
And that pass was complete to number 80. Was it 82 or Ahmad Isaac? I believe that pass was complete to number 82, Joshua Bunton. And so you ain't got time. You got 46 seconds, clock running. Reynolds takes it. Looking. He's going to have to get rid of it, and he does, and he just throws it away. And so you got 34 seconds left. Julian, 30 seconds left. You got second down and 10. What are you going to do here?
Remember, at the end, at the tail end of the 2nd quarter, Marcus Reynolds was able to launch the ball down the field with Quintavious Wilson for a 50-yard touchdown, who's at the bottom of your screen right now if you're watching this on TV.
Well, they'll be watching this. This is going to be a delayed broadcast, but he's right down there at the bottom and right in front of the line, Judge.
That stops the clock. That actually clocks the ball.
Wide open.
He also had another receiver wide open.
He did.
Ahmad Isaac.
Anthony Evelyn right there. You got 23 seconds, and you got to stop the clock. Now Lane's going to take a timeout. Let's take this real quick timeout, and we'll come back with this finale because it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with more Dragon football on Fox Sports Jackson. Ray Pack and Julian Atkins here. Here's the situation. It's 23 seconds on the clock. Lane trails Miles 14-12. They have it 1st and 10 at the Miles 31-yard line. Now you try to get 5 to 8 yards and kick a field goal.
Right.
That's what you want. And Reynolds is going to keep it. He's at the 20. And he steps out of bounds at the 18-yard line with 18 seconds left. Heads up by your senior quarterback right there.
Yeah, he stepped out of bounds, saw green grass in front of him, and stepped out of bounds, so that stops the clock.
So a fantastic finish coming. You've got 18 seconds left. I think you've got time for maybe 1, maybe 2 plays if you throw the ball. If you run the ball, we still have one timeout, so you still have a timeout that you can call if you run the ball.
I'd run the ball
to the middle of the field?
Middle of the field and take a knee and then call the timeout.
There you go.
If I were Coach Burrows.
Give him a straight-up shot, and it looks exactly what Reynolds is going to do. And he's taken down after a 1-yard gain.
I'd let the clock run down a little bit more. It's 10
so
seconds left.
10 seconds left. And Lane takes their final timeout of the half. And we're going to keep it right here.
Coach Burrows was reading my mind.
That's exactly. I mean, that was probably the right thing to do. I might would have let my bad, stepping on your headphone thing.
It's okay.
I might would have let the clock run down a little bit further, not to leave Miles any time, because they do have a quarterback who has an arm that can stretch the field. Exactly. My buddy Josh over here in the next booth, SID, marketing manager, whatever his job is these days at Lane College, he agrees. I would have went with one more pass and then did the run. But so Vicente Luis Juan Pena.
And I thought they were going to use a timeout to ice him.
They are going to use a timeout to ice him. So let's just keep it right here. Is this the way that you would like to see every football game you do, Ian?
Yes.
I mean, I would like it to be that we would be the team on top, but this is exciting football today.
This is very exciting football. A field goal would probably more than likely win this game.
A field goal wins it. I think a field goal wins it because you're not going to leave much time, because you're going to do exactly what we did at the end of the first half after we scored. You're going to squib kick it down and make them field the ball. And they may have one shot at a play to end the game.
And every single player on the Lane College side is on a knee.
35-yard field goal will be coming off of the foot of Vicente Luis Juan Pena, a senior kicker. And that one's up, and he drills it. And so you can't celebrate yet, guys. You can't celebrate yet. But Lane takes a 15-14 lead. We had 6 seconds left.
6 seconds left.
I think the officials I think they have done a good job.
Did they throw a flag?
That's what I was just looking for. Did they throw a flag for celebration?
Because the Lane College Dragons spilled out onto the field after that field goal was kicked.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe they didn't.
Nope, they did.
I'm going to tell you,
flag.
That's great restraint on the officials, because they had every right to throw a flag for celebration right there. Every right.
Because you should have seen, if you're listening right now, you should have seen how fast the Lane College players spilled out onto the field.
You know, fighting.
But this is college football. Anything is possible.
You're fighting for your first conference victory today, as at this point Lane is 0-3 on the season in SIAC. I can't ever get that right. But so Lane will kick off. Juan Pena will kick it off from the 35 with 6 seconds left. Identical situation to the way the first half ended. You squib kick it. Like I say, you squib kick right here and make an up man touch the ball so the clock begins to run. And if you're Miles, You don't want to return it. You want to touch it and fall on it immediately to give yourself 5 seconds.
Or probably a hook and ladder.
Well, that's it. Now you can celebrate Lane College. Hey, Lane is going to take a 15-14 win out of this game over the Golden Bears from Miles College. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We'll come back. Julian and I will come back. We'll wrap it up as the Dragons are victorious today on Fox Sports Jackson. And welcome back in as we wrap this one up from Jackson, Tennessee. Ray Pack here with the broadcast along with Julian Atkinson. As we've missed Reggie today, can't say that enough. We express our sympathy to Reggie and his family on the passing of one of the relatives in his family. But what a win for the Dragons today. Down 14-12, and here you see they come back and end up with 6 seconds left on the clock.
Oh,
35-yard field goal by who has been all season long an inconsistent kicker.
Yeah, Juan Pena drilled that one, and Lane College caught a break because the referees could have thrown a flag and probably should have thrown a flag for excessive celebration. The Lane College players spilled out onto the field after the field goal was kicked.
Oh, exactly. But instead, it's a victory for the Dragons, 15-14. So the Dragons are going to move to 2-5, and overall 1-3 in conference play. Miles is going to fall to 2-6, and 2-2 in conference play. As they've played an extra game, I believe one of Lane's games got canceled due to a storm or something up on the East Coast when they weren't able to make that trip. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Looking at this, shows me that Miles ran 46 plays, had 194 total yards. Lane, on the other hand, ran 63 plays for 356. That's a big difference in the plays. Leading gainer on the ground was Marcus Reynolds with 24 rushes for 132 yards. He also threw 12 for 20 for 160 yards. So a pretty complete day for Marcus Reynolds, Mr. All-Purpose there.
Yeah, Marcus Reynolds, the quarterback, was the leading rusher. That's not what you'd expect from a quarterback, but you know, college football, anything can happen.
You know, You look at the sheet, Ryan Whitaker had 53 yards of rushing, so he did just enough to take some pressure off of Marcus Robinson in the rushing game. But I told you as we went to break, my MVP today has got to be Vicente Juan-Pena, missing that field goal and then being able to come back and focus on that final field goal, 35 yards. So he was 3 out of 4 on field goal attempts today. He deserves, in my opinion, he would be my player of the game today.
Yeah, I'd believe that he'd be the player of the game too. He came through, an inconsistent kicker came through and came through in a very clutch situation to drill a field goal to make it 15-14, and Wayne College comes out on top. What a game and a wild, wild finish.
All right, Julian, I appreciate working with you today. I've had fun.
It's been great working with you.
It's been good. And we're going to close out our broadcast today. On Senior Day, Lane comes away with a victory, 15 to 14. I'll get that right here, 15 to 14. But anyway, appreciate all the hard work. John back at the studio on the board, working with a first-time guy today that hadn't done radio broadcast for a long time. You did a great job there, and we appreciate that. Appreciate the opportunity that we've had today to bring you Dragon football as we close out today. Tune in again. I think the next game is in 2 weeks. Next home game in 2 weeks.
I believe so. Maybe.
I think next. Hang on just a second. Next home game 2 weeks.
Next home game is possibly November the 8th. A makeup game against Livingstone College.
Okay, the next game possibly will be November the 8th against Livingstone College. That'll be the makeup game. So stay tuned and we'll let you know. Anyway, we want to say thank you for tuning in and listening. For Julian Atkins, I'm Ray Pack, and we say thank you for listening to Dragon Football on Fox Sports Jackson.